Being safe for your marriage is, number one, not living in denial. So often I see couples become stuck because usually one spouse is living in denial. What is living in denial? It's choosing to see the situation or the infidelity through their own eyes, through their own impressions of what's going on, and they refuse, typically the unfaithful, will refuse to really own it for what it truly is. You see, denying your reality is something that we talk about very often at Affair Recovery because it really paints a picture of what the unfaithful does. They deny the reality of what has gone on because of their choices. We as unfaithful like to deny the significance of what we've done because if we admit to the significance of what we've done, we have to own how we have traumatized our spouse. We have to own how we have jeopardized the single most important relationship in our life. We have to own the fact that we held very loosely our mate, our marriage, our best friend, our family. The entirety of what our life should be built around relationally is our marriage or our partner. You see, if we come out of denial, a lot of times we're really not healthy enough, or rather, it would be better said, we don't want to come out of our denial because denial protects us. It protects our image. It protects the lies that we continue to tell ourselves. It protects our faulty self-image of feeling like what we've done isn't really that bad because our spouse did A, B, and C, and if they would have done certain things, we would have never felt the need to cheat. You can always kind of assess when someone's living in denial by how they describe their own choices. For me, early on, I really minimized my choices, and I blamed Samantha for my affair. If she would have done 3 significant things or 4 significant things, I really probably wouldn't have had my affair, which is really just kind of ludicrous and really protecting my own image, because as long as I can keep blaming Samantha for my affair, then I'm not really the bad guy. Samantha's the bad guy because if she was doing what she was supposed to be doing, then I wouldn't have been forced to cheat. And that's ludicrous because now I'm blaming her and I'm denying the reality of the fact that I'm an adult. I had every opportunity to do a whole number of things instead of cheat. I'm denying the fact that I, of my own accord, though there were some extenuating circumstances and some difficulties surrounding all of the relationships that Samantha and I were intertwined with, I will always be 100% to blame for my affair. I chose to do what I did. I lived the double life. I cannot deny the fact that I was a grown man who made those choices, who will forever be culpable for my choices. When you hear someone continue to blame their spouse for their choices, you know they are denying the reality of what they did. Now, that's a great opportunity to tackle what could be considered very controversial statements and say, well, but Samuel, does that mean that Samantha was perfect? No, Samantha had issues. Samantha will tell you that she had issues. Her issues will not ever justify the fact that I cheated. You cannot hang your affair on the coat rack of your spouse's failures, difficulties, refusals to be physically intimate with you, etc., etc., etc. Sure, those are issues. Sure, those need to be dealt with. Sure, a proper recovery will address those issues. But to deny the reality that you, of your own accord, made the choices that you made will not create safety. Safety doesn't blame. Safety doesn't accuse. Safety, or being a safe person, owns what you have done, takes it upon yourself to admit to your wrongdoing, and understands that you made the choices that you made. You see, the thing about denial is it further humiliates and wounds your spouse because you refuse to take responsibility for your side of the street. And so it constantly leaves your spouse unattended to. It minimizes their feelings. It minimizes their pain. It causes them to not feel validated, to not feel heard, or it makes them also feel as though they are really just mentally off part of that is like gaslighting, and gaslighting is trying to cause your typically betrayed spouse to think that they are seeing things or that they are crazy, because what we do as unfaithful spouses is we say, no, it wasn't like that. No, that didn't happen. I think you're freaking out over nothing. I think you're really losing it. I think that you are trying to find something that's really not there. We, the unfaithful, make the betrayed feel crazy for suspecting that we could have an addiction or be involved in an affair. It's called gaslighting, and in many ways, we do it to protect ourselves. And see, when you live in denial, you are not safe. You are continuing to wound your spouse because you are treating their worries, their fears, their concerns, their hurt very loosely. And there's only so long that they will tolerate that. So in your denial, I want to appeal to you to break free of it, because the more that you live in denial, the more that you are continuing to wound your spouse and not let them feel validated in their hurt and in their pain. And as long as they don't feel validated in their hurt and in their pain, they will not choose to be safe for you.